12 common airport missteps continue to cost travelers hundreds, even when a man believes he's a smart globetrotter. He might meticulously check his passport, arrive 2 hours early, and feel completely ready, right? Consider that assumption again. Even experienced travelers over 55 are still falling into expensive snares that airlines discreetly favor. These 12 blunders squander his time, deplete his funds, and can drive him to distraction. However, the travel sector will not issue a warning. In this segment, we are uncovering every single one, commencing with the worst culprit that could leave him marooned at the gate. Hit that like button if he is weary of airlines toying with his hard-earned vacation money. Number 12. Placing complete faith in a small travel pouch. A man often puts his passport, boarding pass, and emergency funds into such a seemingly organized, small travel accessory. This is an incorrect decision. That miniature container is a pickpocket's ideal target and a traveler's impending disaster. Here's the harsh reality. Compact pouches disappear without a trace. If a man drops his backpack, someone will likely notice. If he misplaces that tiny pouch, it will be gone forever amidst the airport's commotion. Criminals specifically target these because they unmistakably signal the presence of valuable documents and are easily slipped into pockets unnoticed. Expert advice: store essential paperwork in a zippered chest pocket or a money belt beneath his attire. Avoid handling 3 bags when 2 are sufficient. Last year, airport surveillance systems recorded over 15,000 instances of theft, with small bags being the primary target. Replacing his passport could require several weeks and incur $200 in expedited charges. However, the subsequent error makes that amount seem trivial. Number 11. Bypassing online check-in as if it were discretionary. A man might assume he can manage check-in upon arrival at the airport, believing he has ample time. This is a critical mistake. Airlines intentionally overbook their flights. And who typically gets involuntarily moved first? The individual lacking a confirmed seat reservation. Online check-in extends beyond mere convenience. It serves as his protective measure. When he completes check-in 24 hours in advance, his seat is secured. Should he arrive without having checked in, he becomes a prime candidate for voluntary bumping, even if he paid the full fare. Expert advice: schedule a phone alert for precisely 24 hours prior to his flight's departure. Complete the check-in process instantly and capture a screenshot of his boarding pass for safekeeping. Last year, airlines involuntarily denied boarding to 679,000 passengers, resulting in millions of dollars in rebooking costs and forfeited vacation days for travelers. He should not become their next casualty. The ensuing baggage weight issue that affects nearly everyone will astound him. Number 10. Waiting to weigh his luggage until after it's packed instead of beforehand. A man finishes preparing his bags, transports his suitcase to the bathroom scale, and then finds he's 3 lbs overweight. This leads to frantic repacking, or worse, incurring a $150 surcharge for excess weight at the check-in desk, under the gaze of other passengers. Astute travelers first weigh their empty suitcase, then proceed to pack with a plan. That large shampoo container, for instance, represents 2.5 lb of unnecessary bulk when he could purchase smaller travel-sized versions for less than the excess baggage charge. Expert advice: employ a luggage scale prior to departing from home. Place essential liquids in his checked baggage and acquire duplicates upon arrival at his destination if necessary. Airlines amassed $7.5 billion in baggage-related charges last year. This is money that could have remained in his possession with only 10 minutes of foresight. His approach to choosing a seat is likely diminishing both his comfort and his wallet. Number 9. Choosing seats as if engaging in a lottery. A man scans the airline seat map and selects a spot based on superficial appeal. This is a significant error. What appears to be an ideal window seat could be adjacent to the galley, lack the ability to recline, or subject him to freezing temperatures for 6 hours. Seat Guru exposes the realities airlines conceal. Which seats do not recline? Which ones are equipped with power outlets? And which rows transform into uncomfortable confinements? Seat 31F may seem identical to 15F, yet one reclines while the other does not. Expert advice: investigate his specific aircraft model on Seat Guru before making a selection. He should steer clear of seats close to lavatories, galleys, and emergency exits unless he requires the extra legroom. A travel study indicated that 73% of travelers who research their seats in advance describe their flight experience as positive, compared to only 31% who select randomly. However, careful seat selection will be futile if he commits the following plastic wrap blunder. Number 8. Enveloping his luggage in shrink wrap as if it were food remains. A man expends $15 to encase his suitcase in plastic, under the impression that it safeguards his possessions. Conversely, he has engineered a dreadful situation. What occurs when the TSA requires examining his bag? They will cut through the wrapping, leaving him with torn plastic and no actual security. Even worse, if he inadvertently placed his passport inside, he will ruin his costly wrapping job with a pen at the check-in counter, while exasperated fellow travelers queue behind him. Expert advice: forego the plastic wrap deception. Utilize a TSA-approved lock and a reusable luggage cover, which genuinely offers defense against abrasions and elements. Airport personnel indicate that 40% of bags encased in wrap necessitate unwrapping for inspections, rendering the service practically ineffectual while also adversely affecting the ecosystem. The error in the security line that invariably consumes 20 minutes of his time. Number 7. Trailing the masses toward a chaotic security experience. A man observes the longest security queue and presumes it's his sole choice. Incorrect. The majority of airports feature numerous checkpoints, and the furthest ones are frequently entirely unpopulated, while passengers congregate at the initial entry point they encounter. Airlines and airport authorities refrain from publicizing this, as congested lines encourage him to spend more time and money in their retail outlets. However, traversing an additional 100 FT could spare him 20 minutes of waiting in line. Expert advice: before joining any queue, traverse the entire security zone to inspect all available checkpoints. The one most distant from the main entrance typically represents his quickest route. TSA statistics indicate that checkpoint waiting periods can differ by 30 minutes within the same terminal, merely due to how passengers are distributed. Regarding security, the following liquid-related blunder sabotages more journeys than missed flights. Number 6. Engaging in liquid roulette. A man is familiar with the 3-1-1 regulation, yet he consistently gets flagged at security. Here's the information they withhold. Even if his bottle holds less than 3.4 Oz, if the vessel itself appears larger, the TSA will seize it regardless. They are unable to gauge the internal volume. They assess based on the container's external dimensions. That half-full 6 Oz shampoo bottle? Gone. His pricey cologne in a 4 Oz bottle, even with just a dab remaining? Confiscated. Expert advice: decant all liquids into genuine travel-sized containers before departing his residence. Maintain his bag of liquids readily accessible. Do not conceal it deep within his carry-on luggage. The TSA impounds over 2,400 forbidden articles daily, with excessively large liquid containers standing as the foremost infraction that impedes security queues. And the situation escalates when he enters the perilous duty-free area. A brief interlude. If these privileged insights are already alleviating his frustrations, he should hit that subscribe button with force. We are only now approaching the transformative blunders that even seasoned flyers overlook. Believe me, the concluding recommendations will fundamentally alter his travel approach. Number 5. Becoming disoriented within the enchanting duty-free realm. A man effortlessly clears security and decides to treat himself to some duty-free exploration. Unexpectedly, he finds himself meandering through a labyrinthine perfume section that appears to extend for vast distances, entirely forgetting the time and the whereabouts of his boarding gate. Airports intentionally craft duty-free areas as purposeful diversions. Their objective is to encourage shopping, not for him to be resting at his gate. These commercial mazes are positioned strategically to divest him of his funds and his consciousness of boarding calls. Expert advice: he should shop only after he has identified his gate and verified his flight status on the departure board. He should set a phone alarm for 45 minutes prior to boarding and never engage in shopping without absolute certainty of his route back to his gate. Rebooking costs for missed flights typically range from $200 to $400, rendering that $20 chocolate acquisition the priciest confection he will ever purchase. His selection for a pre-flight meal has the potential to spoil his entire holiday. Number 4, dining excessively like a Food Network celebrity before boarding. That intriguing restaurant close to his gate seems enticing, and a man might opt for an adventurous meal prior to his flight. This is a colossal error. His digestive system does not require unexpected challenges at 35,000 tianifei, where cabin pressure exacerbates every issue. Rich, pungent, or novel dishes can provoke queasiness, abdominal distension, and more severe symptoms when combined with variations in altitude. Gases expand at higher elevations, transforming an unwise meal decision into prolonged periods of discomfort in a confined seating area. Expert advice: he should adhere to known, mild foods before flying. He ought to shun dairy, piquant meals, and any item he has not previously consumed. He should pack digestive aids such as crackers or ginger chews. Flight attendants state that 60% of passenger health complaints are related to gastrointestinal issues, many of which are instigated by inadequate pre-flight dietary selections. The scheduling error that ensures an agonizing experience with turbulence. Number 3, reserving flights without regard for meteorological conditions. A man secures an inexpensive afternoon flight without considering when atmospheric disturbances are most severe. Midday and early afternoon journeys encounter the most turbulent air because solar radiation warms the Earth, generating ascending air currents that jostle aircraft like paint shakers. Airlines are aware of this, but will not disclose it to him, as they aim to populate those more affordable midday time slots. Flights scheduled for early morning and late evening navigate through considerably more tranquil skies due to reduced thermal activity. Expert advice: he should book flights before 10 p.m. or after 6 p.m. for the most stable journey. If he is susceptible to motion sickness, this alteration in timing alone could salvage his travel experience. Injuries associated with turbulence result in 25 passengers being hospitalized weekly, with afternoon flights responsible for 70% of grave turbulence occurrences. The unsavory truth that every germaphobe ought to understand. Number 2, contacting surfaces without proper safeguards. A man might be concerned about aircraft lavatories, but he is overlooking the genuine breeding grounds for germs. Those plastic security bins into which everyone places their footwear, belts, and mobile phones harbor more bacteria than airport restrooms, and he handles them with his bare hands. Security trays undergo hundreds of uses daily and are seldom adequately disinfected between users. He is quite literally making contact with surfaces where strangers have placed their soiled shoes, subsequently handling his phone and his food. Expert advice: he should carry sanitizing wipes and apply them assiduously. He should cleanse trays, armrests, tray tables, and any other object he might touch. His immune system will be grateful when he avoids spending his holiday recovering in bed. Research has shown that airport security trays contain 10 times more pathogens than toilet seats. Nevertheless, 90% of travelers never disinfect them. Yet, Here is the paramount game changer that even seasoned travel experts neglect. Number 1. Disregarding his biological clock, as if time zones were non-existent. This particular error devastates more holidays than actual flight cancellations. It involves neglecting to acclimate his body to jet lag before he even departs from home. He arrives at his destination utterly fatigued, spends 2 days recuperating, and squanders valuable vacation hours feeling like a walking dead man. The key insight? Begin modifying his sleep routine 3 days prior to his flight's departure. Shift both his bedtime and wake-up time 1 hour closer to his destination's time each day. He should adjust his watch to the destination time before boarding, rather than upon arrival. Expert advice: implement light therapy, bright illumination in the morning if he is journeying eastward, and evening light if heading westward. He should download a jet lag application that generates a customized adjustment plan tailored to his specific flight. Business travelers who pre-adjust their circadian rhythm report a 75% reduction in jet lag intensity and regain optimal performance 3 days sooner than those who do not prepare. The airline sector incurs billions in losses annually due to productivity diminished by jet lag. However, they will never educate him on this cost-free remedy. Regarding errors, which ones has he realized he is committing? He should leave a comment below and inform me which piece of advice will provide him the greatest savings on his subsequent journey. Furthermore, he shouldn't overlook our upcoming video concerning 10 TSA travel strategies every senior ought to be aware of in 2025. We will unveil the TSA's covert methods that could preserve his time and ensure he avoids unwanted attention for all the incorrect motives. We appreciate him choosing to travel more intelligently with Passport Pro. May his travels be secure, and always recall that wisdom is his ultimate travel ally.